Alright, here we are again, YouTube. We are cooking al fresco outdoors. Today we are at Land's End, Cornwall, southwest. I mean, as far as you can go on England before getting to water. Right, today, I mean, as close as we can be to Mexico, I've decided that we're going to do spicy chicken tortilla wraps. I'm not sure if that's a traditional dish down here, but it's as close as we're going to get to Mexico, so I thought we'd do it. Right, okay. I'll run you through ingredients. We're using chicken breast today. We've got some peppers, we've got some ginger, onion, garlic as usual, and we've got some wholemeal flour tortilla wraps. I've not tried before, so it's something new for me. But yeah, we'll give them a go. Just none of these ingredients contain palm oil, and that's what we're trying to avoid. It's very bad for you. It gives you spots, kills the jungle, wildlife, everything. It's not good. Right, so fire's been lit about 5 minutes. You can see that it's only just, you know, we're still breaking the wood down into embers. I've got a pan on already. Preparation techniques a little bit different today from what I've shown you before. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you what that is. The onion, the garlic, same procedure. Just the peppers, we want long thin strips, so as when you put in the wrap, everything's pointing the same direction. We're going to do strips of chicken, strips of courgette, all that when it's laid in the tortilla, we'll be able to wrap easier rather than having bits sticking out all over the place, you know. Right, so I'm going to do the preparation and I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like once I've done it. Right, okay, YouTube. Right, so far in here, this is one onion sliced, just finely sliced, you know, sort of like matchstick thickness more or less. 6 cloves of garlic and a bit of stem ginger, which was about the size of a golf ball, give or take. So that's prepped, that's ready to go in, start frying. Next we're going to crack on with slicing the chicken. We've got peppers and we've got courgettes to do. So when that's prepped, I'll show you exactly what it's got to look like. It hasn't got to look like it, but vaguely. What it's going to look like, and then you can crack on and make these at home. Wonderful. Right, so let's get the chicken, the peppers, the courgettes prepped. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Right, okay, YouTube. Here we are. Right, we've got, this is 3 sweet pepper they call this. This is the red one, the yellow one, and then an orange one. All comes in the same. It's a packet of 3. That's what I got. So very nice. Amazing sweet flavour. That's going in our tortillas. Courgette, zucchini. I just cut it into like long thin strips. Doesn't have to be uniform. You know, well, it's got to be the right size. Forget it, you know. As long as they're more or less the same size, so the cooking time is the same. Right, and then we got, this is 6 chicken breasts, cut into just long thin strips, and that's it. 6 of them. Right, so we are ready to start cooking. What else is there to tell? Right, the spices, herbs, spices, whatever I'm using for today. Let's have a look. Right, okay. We've got paprika, we've got hot chili powder, and I'm using Cajun seasoning as well. You can mix these up, match them, whatever. Just, I'm going with the chili, just for that extra kick. The Cajun for that sort of South America, like the north of South America, south of North America, somewhere in America. Cajun seasoning, it's good for chicken, it's lovely. And they're my spices. Now I'm going to use up the leftover of this tomato puree, and then I am putting in sweet corn, because it's just to bunt it out, basically, make it bigger, and chickpeas as well. This is all optional. You can put it in or don't put it in, it's up to you. But once that's fried off, the tomato puree go in, wrap it all up, make it sort of like nice, and then I'm going to add a tin of tomatoes and then a reduction. So we've got a nice sauce paste sort of thing, but I don't want it too wet because I don't want it dripping out the bottom of the tortilla when I eat it. Right, so I'm going to start frying everything off. I'll start with onion, garlic and ginger, always first. Second will be the chicken, then probably the chickpeas and the sweet corn, and then the courgettes and peppers, because the cooking time on those is probably the least of all of them. Right, so let's get it going. Right, let's put the lid on. Right, lid's on. Just going to get a couple of bits of wood in there. Make sure it's not going to die down on me. Last thing you want to do in the middle of cooking is rebuild your fire. It's a nightmare. And we've been here at Land's End for about an hour, watching the weather, see what's happening. I don't want to get everything out and it starts raining, or I get prepared for the rain. Right, okay, pan on, lid off, oil in. Not too much oil, just, that's fine. Right, get the lid on, let that heat up. Right, all mess is tidy. I've kept this organic rubbish, but I give it the birds, the rats, whatever, they'll find it. If not, it'll turn to compost and just erode away. Right, it's going to take about 2 seconds to heat up the oil because the fire is actually really, really hot. Right, okay, almost there. Right, let's get the garlic, onion and ginger. Salt and pepper. Right, salt is mandatory when you're cooking because it helps, like it turns into like liquid when it's sat on vegetables or meat for a while. You get a nice, it draws the liquid out of the product. So it's the same process when you're cooking with it. Again, it is a very windy day, so I'm just, ingredients are going into the pan. I've showed you before what to do, just put it in your hand, but when it's windy, it's very tricky to do this. Right, it's starting to cook down already. Already getting a good temperature in there. Right, you just want to cook the onions until they're just wilted. You don't want really burnt onions. I'll show you what it looks like when we add in the next ingredients. Yeah, probably. I think we'll go with the chicken next. Yeah, that'll do. I mean, you can really experiment with these burners. I mean, but what you got to realise is, the more, you know, the more elaborate the cooking, the more elaborate the cleaning. You know, the more equipment you use, the more you got to clean, the more you got to carry. If you're out camping, last thing you want to do is lug a wheelbarrow's worth of equipment around just to make a couple of pancakes or something. You know, it's all calorific value. You know, work out what the gains and what the, you know, the pros and cons of it all. It's dead simple. So there's no point in, you know, climbing Mount Everest if there's only 1p when you get up there. You know, it's just, there's no value in it. So it's just common sense. You know, if you are going to climb Mount Everest, you've got to at least get to the top with enough provisions to get back down. That's what my onions look like so far. They're hardly cooked at all, but they've just got a bit of temperature in. Right now, because I like my sweet corn like with a nice flavour in it, I always put that in more or less straight at the start. I don't want to add it at the end and just have this raw sweet corn floating around. I like to cook my sweet corn out, so that's going in next. Right, tin opener. Right, that's that. Pour the juice out. Get that straight in. Alright, metal recycling. That's a tin opener. I don't need it for the tomatoes. Right, now I'm going to fry the chicken in a separate pan because I want to add my cajun. I want to add all my like flavourings to the chicken, and then we'll season the mix as we go on. So I'm going to get the pan on the back. Get some oil in that. Don't need a lot, just to stop the chicken from sticking. You don't want your chicken sticking, you know, it's just going to burn, it's not going to look good. Right, so let's get some more wood in there. So when the chicken goes straight in the pan, so does the Cajun seasoning, the chili powder and the paprika. You can use whatever flavour you want for these wraps. I mean, you go down the high street these days and there's like so many different wraps that you can get, like breakfast wraps, roast dinner wraps, bloody hell, I mean, what else do they do? Yeah, I've not actually heard of the roast dinner wrap, but I'm sure it's on its way. Someone somewhere has invented it. I mean, student food, I mean, like the good old days. when you just put anything in a bit of bread and call it a sandwich. I mean, I think at one point we were putting each other's trainers in between bits of bread and trying to eat that just to stay alive. And here we are. I didn't evolve much, did I? Right, we're gonna get the chicken in. Fire's really hot, so let's just see. It's not even hot yet, though. It'll do, it's good enough for me. Right, just get some temperature into that. Right, chickpeas are going into the mix next, because I like to cook them off. I don't want to add chickpeas at the end, same as a sweet corn. Like, some people don't like these. I think they've got amazing flavour, full of protein as well. Right, chickpeas, that's what they look like, going straight in. Right, get some more wood in this fire. But I've just spent about, I don't know, 45 minutes preparing a load of wood. The other day we did the cook at Dunster Beach, really windy, so the wind was just burning through the wood. Like, it's a good thing, like if you're going to cook on a fire outdoors, one of these is perfect, so you can control the airflow. But when it's windy, I mean, it's quite hard. It's just going to come in, whatever. It doesn't matter if you've got the door shut, it's still going to blast in there. I'll try to leave the door open on these so you've got an even burn all the way around. It's not one of the best wood burning stoves, but it's okay. If you're going to light an open fire, like I say, like a traditional campfire, the wood is going to burn so quick because you've got oxygen coming from all angles. So this is really good, you know. You've seen the bits of wood that I'm burning. There's some of, nothing inside. Bits like this, but you can see it's very effective. Right, I'm gonna have a break. Once the chicken started to cook, I will come back to you. I'm gonna add the spices to that first, so you'll see what it's all like. Right, speak to you in a minute, eh? Right, okay, YouTube. We've got the chickpeas, sweet corn, onion, garlic, and ginger at the right stage. Let's have a look. Right, it's wilted down, smells wonderful. The ginger and the garlic kicking out some real good aromas there. Now we're going to add the peppers and courgettes to that. We're going to top up the seasoning. First some salt and loads of black pepper. Right, give that a little stir. Try not to flick any on the floor. Get the lid on that, and it can go to the back of the stove, because all you're trying to do now is just wilt the vegetables down, and by the time the chicken's cooked, the veg mix will be ready. So let's get some more wood on this fire, get it nice and hot. Right, the chicken's going to take about 5 minutes. Just when it starts to go white all round, I'm going to add the spices. We'll come back at that stage. Right, okay YouTube. Right, the fire's going good. It's nice. The chicken's starting to change colour. It's going nice and white. And now I'm going to add the tomato puree and the chopped tomatoes to the vegetables at the back. I want to get a reduction on the tomato sauce anyway, so while the chicken's cooking, I'm going to get that straight in. Right. That's about 1/3 of a tube. It's the third that's left over. So I'll do that. Get the tomatoes in. Give it a nice stir. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the spices to this now. Right, about a teaspoon, no, about a dessert spoon of Cajun spicing, seasoning. Paprika, about the same. And hot chili powder, it's up to you, but I'm going to do the same. Right, that's going to take about, I don't know, a good half an hour to reduce down till it would like literally come down to nothing. And then we're going to add the chicken to that. I'm going to bring that to the boil, and then I'm going to put the lid ajar so as I get a bit of a reduction. We'll be adding the spices to the chicken in a minute, and then it's more or less ready to put all together in the big pan. Right, okay YouTube, this is how I, like, you know, some people like marinate their chicken. Yeah, I couldn't lie, I don't do that. I do sometimes, but for this dish it's fine. Get to that stage, then I add my spices, then I'm going to cook it out for a little bit, and then it's going to go into the pan with all the vegetables. So you want it about that sort of colour. You can marinate it before, but it's just, I find if you're wrapping chicken just in spices, it tends to dry it out a little bit, and then when you come to cook it, the spices on the outside are burnt before the inside of the inside of the chicken's cooked. So I like to add the spices while the chicken's still moist. You can see the big layer of water at the bottom of that. I'm going to get rid of some of that and add the spices. Again, chili powder, quite a lot. I like my chili. Cajun seasoning, again, quite a lot, probably about 1/3 of a tub. And paprika, again, quite a lot. So they were brand new tubs when I bought them. You can see I've used that much Cajun spices, that much paprika, and like that much chili. So I doubt we'll need to use these again, but I'm going to keep them out anyway. Right, give this a good sort of stir. Get all those spices wrapped around the chicken. So that's what it looks like once the spices are all over the chicken. Now we're just going to cook it out for a good 10, maybe 15 minutes, and then it's going to be added to the vegetables. Right, okay YouTube, while we wait for that to cook, let's do a panoramic view of the scenery, shall we? Starting with the chicken, I mean, look at that, whoa! And those veggies, look, whoa! Right, okay, let's have a look. This is what Land's End looks like. If you've never been here, I'm bringing you Land's End. What with this virus going about, the pub's closed, which is a shame. But there you go, massive car park, no trees. But you can imagine what the ocean looks like. It's just blue with rocks, and there's a lot of sort of cliffs about, you know. But right, anyway, right, dinner is almost ready. So what have we done? Firstly, we chopped some onions, garlic, ginger, fried that off in a little bit of oil with some salt and pepper. Then we added to that the chickpeas and the sweet corn. Cooked that out for a little while. Then we added the courgettes and the peppers. We folded some spices into that. That's at the back, just wilting down, cooking away slowly. It's looking wonderful. The chicken we cut into just long strips. We fried it off in a bit of oil. No salt and pepper, didn't need it because we're using the spices as seasoning. And we've just cooked that out. You cook the chicken till it's just changing to white colour, add the spices, and then get it back on the heat. In about another 5, maybe 10 minutes of cooking. So in total time cooking, right, the chicken's had about 15-20 minutes in the spices, like before the spices, then add the spices. We're going to cook it for another about 10-15 minutes depending on wind and heat, and then let's go in with the veggies. We've got the wraps there ready to roll it all up. I'm ready, you know. Right, I'll come back to you when we add it all together. All right, okay, the chicken is now cooked. Let's have a look how it is. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's amazing. Honestly, the smells coming off of that you wouldn't believe. Right, we're now going to add that to the vegetable mix and then cook that out for a further 10 minutes just to get all the flavours in there, and then it's ready to eat. I should have showed you the vegetables first, shouldn't I really? But when you cook it, you'll see what it looks like. There we go. Oh, yeah, honestly, look at that. Look. Oh, the smells are amazing. Right, okay, cook for 10 more minutes and then I'll show you how to make a wrap. Right then, here we go. Dinner is ready. That is the end product. Amazing. Right, now we're going to make a wrap. Right, so I don't know if you can see me, I'm sure you can. Right, okay, one tortilla wrap. This is a wholemeal flour. I should use this as a lid, really, as a plate. It is 2020. The plate's only been invented for like about 5,000 years. Right, get your mix. Start in the middle. Yeah, just like so. Now, I always do this my way. There's 100 ways you can fold these. I fold the bottom one end like that, then I fold like this, and then like so. The reason being, so it doesn't fall all out the bottom. It's quite straightforward. These are lovely, I can guarantee it. Amazing. Right, now you've got to eat these pretty quickly because the bread does break up, as you can see. I don't have the luxury of a plate. It's just more stuff to wash up, so what do I want one for? I don't. So that is chicken, vegetable, fajitas, tortillas, whatever you want to call them, at Land's End. That's a wrap.